Here's the story. Johnny the Mad Dragon had my mother off my side. They were four fans, certain nutty and obnoxious, but full of dragon's pride.
Here's the story of the great Jesse Godfrey with the big Go-Go and Mr. Rob. The Jesse's crew, so fierce and passionate, and the red they shine true. Till the one day when
Johnny met young Jesse,
and they
there was much more than a hunt. That this group would form a fiery podcast. That's how we come from the dragon's punch. That dragon's punch. That dragon's punch. That's the way we became the Mad Dragons punch. Come on, Dragons fans! Fire up!
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Mad Dragons podcast, proudly sponsored by Complete Warehouse Solutions. Over 100 years of warehouse experience. Go see Jeff and the team who can do your fit-out projects. Go see them team on the 6 Commerce Drive, Lake Illawarra. Give them a call on 4257-1930 or 0417 223 409. And I'll introduce the rest of the panel. We do have Big T in the top right corner there. Youngie there just below, and we also got Rob, and we'll have Billy joining us a little bit later on. Now, yes, we got our second trip to Brisbane Vegas in 3 weeks this weekend as we take on the Brisbane Broncos. It's our last game before we do have a bye, before we do enter the State of Origin period, so it is pretty much a 4-point game this weekend. And if we are going to keep in touch with that top 8, this is a game we simply must win. So we'll hand over to you, Rob. You can walk us through how the Dragons side will line up this weekend. There are a couple of changes.
Yes, correct. So round 11, team list for the Dragons. We've got Gutho at fullback. On the wings, we've got Terrell Sloan and Corey Allen. Terrell Sloan might still be a little bit in doubt. They're saying he's 100%, but we'll have to wait and see. We've got Sully and Holmes in the centres. Kyle Flanagan at 5'8", and Lycan King Tonga at halfback. At prop, Jack DeBellin, hooker Damien Cook, prop David Clemmer, and then the second row, Dylan Egan and Jaden Sewer. In locking the scrum, Hamish Stewart. And our 14, Jacob Little, Luch, 15, and big old Loco. What a great game he played last game against the Warriors, 16. And Blocker back at 17. And Nathan Lawson, 18th man. And we'll look to see him on the wing yet, Jesse, if he does come in or not for Sloan.
Yep. And also the extended bench with Hame Sele, Locke Lilius, Raymond Vitale-Mariner, and Michael Molo.
Yes.
We were supposed to have a Broncos best, but due to unfortunate circumstances, we don't have one. But I'll hand
what
over
a shame.
Hand over to Big T, and he can walk us through this segment.
Come with me as we go behind enemy lines.
Well, good day, Dragons fans. I'm Big T, and this is round 11. We're playing the Broncos and behind enemy lines. Whew. We've got a bit of a matchup coming up here. Our guest couldn't come on. She had a little accident on the way home. I hope you're all right, Shirlo, if you're watching. Jesse's boss from work, she is. All right, we've got Sorban Cobbo at the back, Dane Mariner and Jesse Arthurs on the wings, Tony Spags, and I think it's Gahermet Shibashaki. Ezra Mann back in the side only after a week after he came back in the game against South Logan in the South Logan's team. Adam Reynolds is the other half. Pat Carrigan, Billy Walters, Payne Haas is the front row. Xavier Willison. I was going to ask Sheila if she knew much about Xavier Willison, but Jordan Rick is the other second rower, and Kobe Hetherington locks the scrum. Corey Pakes, Corey Jensen, Brendan Piakura, and Fletcher Baker on the bench. Tyson Smoothie, 19th man. Josiah Karapani, Marty Tapau. I like to call him Tapau, but it's Tapayu. Jaden Hunt and Deloise Hoyter. I bet Deloise is the only Deloise ever to play rugby league. I've never thought of another one.
Jaden Hunt too.
Oh, Jaden Hunt's next Dragon. A couple of there. Mads Maguire's the coach. And on the extended bench is, I've done one for that, didn't I? Hoyter. Yeah, I was going to ask our guests. No iMac this week. He's not playing. He's injured himself. But, yeah, he's not in. I was going to say, what difference will Ezra Mann make without Ben Hunt in the side? What would you say, Jess?
Well, Ezra Mann hasn't played he hasn't played any football since last year, so he's going to be lacking in match fitness, and he'll be under a lot of pressure as well. They've had a mixed bag to start the year, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they do play. Ben Hunt and Adam Reynolds are pretty similar, and they are probably the most experienced halves in the game. So it's going to be interesting to see how Ezra Mann and Adam Reynolds do pick up. I'm not sure how Ezra Mann's going to play. I'm sure he'll be. Everyone on the game will be watching him. A lot of people are.
Apparently, he was on fire for South Logan on the weekend. Had a really good game. So,
yeah, that's all
I heard he got booed at Magic Round.
Well, let's hope he gets feet.
Anyway, Daz, I was going to ask our guest what they thought Madge's reaction would be to losing 4 out of the last 5 games from seeing him on Tigerland or whatever that show was called he was on.
Yeah.
He's a big sprayer.
Yeah, they would have copped a real spray, wouldn't they? You wouldn't want to be in that room. There's been a fly on the wall in that room.
Let's get off that one.
Would have. Yeah.
That's better.
Sorry?
Where's everyone gone?
It disappeared. Was
it
me?
Disappeared? I don't know. Yeah, watching Tigerville or whatever it was called. Geez, he gave the Tigers some sprays back then, didn't he?
Yeah, I remember watching that. He's good at giving a spray, that's for sure. I was just saying, I wouldn't want to be in that room if they lose another one. So Broncos could be on this weekend. That's what worries me.
Yeah, Rob, another question I was going to ask Shirley. They had a streak of wins from 2015 to 2017, 4 wins. We had a streak of wins 2018 to 21. We had 5 wins. And the last 4 have been win, loss, win for us. What makes them think the Broncos is going to beat the Dragons on the weekend?
Well, mate, just what we were talking about. Obviously, Madge is a decent coach. And the Rother Khan, I think, obviously would have been put on the players, the team, the squad. So I have no doubt that they'll be up for the game. I actually see Ezra Mann. I don't think he should have been allowed to be back in the game, of course, but I see him as a plus for them. I think he'll add a bit of spark, a bit like us with LKT. LKT's come in and add a bit of spark, and Daz was right. He played brilliantly. I know it's only reserve grade, but mate, I just think they'll be up for it. I mean, they got players right across the park, and I mean, probably the best prop in the game in Haas. Cobbo, when Cobbo's on at fullback, is unbelievable.
As well at fullback.
Yeah, and we're seeing with Reynolds what Reynolds can do.
Try scoring.
Yeah, so masterclass. So, mate, yeah, we're going to be in for it's going to be a tough assignment, I think, for us. I thought we were just so unlucky in the Warriors game. We could have won the game. And to lose by 1 point in normal time for me really sucks. If it was golden point and it went either way, I get it. Because it's a field goal. But to lose by 1 in normal time, I hate that sort of thing happening. You know what I mean? But look, yeah, I think it's going to be a real tough one for us.
Yeah, the other question I had for him, what were they looking for head to head? What were they looking forward to? But we'll cover that later on. Yeah, so that was all I had for the. Do you guys have any other questions you'd like to ask?
Well, I was going to say Michael Maguire was brought in to give the Broncos that harder edge that they seem to lack, but it looks like that hasn't happened. Do you think the Broncos are a soft team that don't like getting in the work? They're all those flashy players, and when their class players want to in a mood, they just do it. They can do it, or do you think they are a team that need to get into their work?
Now, you can have a team of champions, but it's not a champion team, is it? Like all those. I said the Bulldogs were like that a couple of years ago. They had a lot of prima donnas in their side, but now they're playing well. The Broncos have got a lot of top players. Their backline is almost second to none. Cobbo at the back.
On the head, though, Big T. I think it's more a team of individuals.
That's what I think too.
It's a team. Your team, across the
Cobbo's much like Mitchell, Latrell Mitchell, and I think Latrell Mitchell's a very, very selfish player. He does a lot of things for himself, not for the team.
And he gets involved when he
gets to. Yeah, that's like Cobbo. Cobbo does the same thing. If he's on fire, we're in trouble.
Yeah, like Rob, you mentioned like Payne Haas, the best. A lot of people said he's the best prop in the game. Like, do you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. He's just Big T. He's just absolutely. Normally, when he plays normal, he's so bloody unbelievable. But if he has a day out against us on the weekend, beware, because he's a rampaging bull. I mean, he could absolutely tear us up through the middle. Obviously, that's what's been happening to us. Unfortunately, in X amount of games this season, we've been getting beaten through the middle. So, if he has a day out, we're going to be in trouble.
They're going to wrap him up. They've got to stop that ball from being offloaded. And we're very poor at stopping offload. So, if he's getting offloads going, we're in trouble.
We do welcome Billy as well, who's just joined us.
Yeah, Billy.
Hello.
Billy?
He's in bed.
You got any thoughts on the game, Billy? What do you think of the Broncos?
They're a strong side on paper. It's been a bit weird. I don't know why they haven't been able to put it out on the field, to be honest. But look, they've lost a couple in a row now. I think they're going to be roaring for Sunday, especially because it's at their home ground. And I think if we match it, if we match their energy, we have a chance.
Yep.
I'm hearing they're unhappy up there with Madge, but they're unhappy with Kevy as well.
That's what Grant's just said.
Yep, they don't like his
Maguire's
coaching.
not getting on well with the players. Oh, hopefully there's
I heard stories
problems at the Broncos.
I got told by a couple of the old boys in here, Dragons players, who obviously know some of the old boys up in Broncos. He's a bit crazy, Madge. You see Bellamy in the box going off and all that, swearing and all that sort of stuff. He's been known to carry a baseball bat around. You'll get a chair and you'll just absolutely beat the living shit
Off the doors.
Yeah, the chair. Beat living crap out of the chair in front of the players. You know what I mean? And just do stuff like that. So, some you could call them violent acts, but they're tough first grade rugby league players. But apparently, Madge has a very, very bad temper. So yeah,
But you don't bring a baseball bat into the change rooms and intimidate your players.
That's what I've been told. So
What the hell?
intimidator. So
Well, he did learn from Craig Bellamy, so
and if you watch Tiger Town, mate, he absolutely goes off, rips stuff, off and swearing, going off his head, pulling chairs.
Craig Bellamy has earned the reputation, though.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
Yeah.
Michael
He's
Maguire's
a coach
one-
you look up to.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Madge has earned that respect yet.
No. Oh, definitely not. Not the same class at all.
I mean, yes, he did have success in Origin last year with the Blues. Go the Blues, by the way, Big T.
Anyway, I think it's come to that time of night. We've talked enough about the Broncos. Let's talk about a little bit more about the Dragons in the past. We've got to talk past, don't we? We're not winning at the moment. So here we go. I'll bring it up. Come with me as you take a walk down memory lane. Brought to you by Essence and Light, Nature for Home and Body. They're a small batch candle and soap manufacturer. They've got a website now. Go to essenceatlight.com.au. Have a look, man. They're absolutely fantastic. We go back to Sunday, September 9th, 2018, Suncorp Stadium, Brisbane. Qualifying final. Brisbane Broncos versus the Dragons. Referees Grant Atkins and Chris Sutton. Crowd, 47,296. That's not a bad crowd for...
It was an elimination final, not a qualifying final.
Oh, there you go. Elimination final. And the Broncos finished up that year anyway. We played the Broncos 46 times in our 26 years in the NRL. Broncos have won 25. We've won 21, so it's pretty close. Broncos have scored 1,019 points. We've scored 927. It's not too bad. I'll just run through the skies. Darius Board, Corey Oates and Jermaine Azarko on the wing. Jimmy the Jet and Jordan Carhu in the centres. Anthony Milford and Cody Nikarima are the halves. Joey Offahingawi and Captain Slow McCulloch. And I'm a Thug Friday up front. David Frieda, Tavita Pangai Jr., Josh Maguire locks the scrum. Matt Lodge, Pat Mago, Corbin Sims, and Katoni Staggs on the bench, coached by Wayne Bennett. The great Wayne Bennett. We'll go for the Dragon side there, coached by Mary McGregor. I've got it here somewhere. Oh, there we go. Mac Duffy at the back, McDonald, Nana McDonald, and Jordan Pereira on the wings. Him and Tim Laffey in the centres. Gareth Whittock and Ben Hunt in the in the halves.
He was
James Graham. He was James Graham, Cam McGuinness, Leeson Armour in the front row, Tossenville and Tarek Sims. Jack DeBellin locks the scrum. On the bench, the GOAT, and we all know who the GOAT is. Kurt Mann, Blake Laurie, and Luciano Leilua. If you don't know who the GOAT is, that's Jeremy Lattimore. Anyway, talking about Jammer Graham, he played for the Dragons between 2018 and 2020, scoring one try, and that try was in front of his parents. So his parents come out and watched him, and he scored that try. I think it was at Cogra, I think. 230 games at St. Helens, 11 tries, 135 games for the Bulldogs, 2012 to 2017. Oh, sorry, not 11 tries. That's 2003 and 2011. 9 tests for Great Britain, 45 tests for England, 2 NRL All-Stars games. He's got 2 NRL trophies, 2 English Super League trophies, 423 combined games. Wow. That's a feat for a front rower. You know, he's a hard man, James Graham. Now he was a St. George Illawarra Dragons NRLW assistant in 2021, Fox Sport commentator. Appeared on ABC TV drama. Plum. I'm not sure what Plum was. I should have had a look. He's donated his brain to science after he passes. Yeah, so
and he hosts the Buy Round podcast as well, Big T.
What was that, sorry?
He hosts the Buy Round podcast.
Okay, there you go. The Buy Round podcast. Get out there and look at it and see what he's talking about. So there's the game we're going back to. A elimination semi-final. Jess was saying Broncos Dragons up at Suncorp Stadium.
Was this the game that Tarek Sims went nuts?
Hang on, let me go. Come on, let me go.
No spoiler.
Spoiler alert. Dragons penalty goal. Dragons 2.
I'm just asking the question.
The Broncos get a penalty goal in the 9th minute and the 14th minute to make it 4-2 Broncos. And then, boom, boom, boom. Broncos score a try. Broncos 10, Dragons 2. We're in trouble. I always think about that. And then Terry Skim scores his first try in the 20th minute. McGuinness from the pass, passes to Graham, off to Hunt. Hunt, who gives us the Sims, who pivots his way through the line. Dragons over. Broncos 10, Dragons 8. At 27 minute, 2015 Dragon Player of the Year, Leeson Armour goes over for a 4-pointer. Burrows in from close. 14-10 to the Dragons. And Tarek Skims goes in again. Big Tarek. Hunt at dummy half, off to Wibbett, passes to Tarek Sims, over for his third. Dragons 20, Broncos 10. And 37th minute, Sims in for his first half hat trick. He owned his brother. Absolutely owned his brother.
I remember that exact thing, Big T. Ruan Sims his sister Ruan Sims was in the commentary. What did he have for breakfast, Ruan Sims? Can you tell? Her exact words, she had Vegemite on Wheat Bix. He has just been on a mission this afternoon.
Nice. Very nice. All right, then. 40th minute, Dragons penalty goal. Half time, Dragons 28, Broncos 10. Tim Laffey scores in the 49th minute. From midfield, field scrum, McInnes gets the ball from the back of the scrum to Hunt to Dufty. Dufty runs sideways across the field. Put Laffey on the outside shoulder of Ben Roberts. Laffey breaks the line. Dragons 34, Broncos 10. Oh, then the Broncos go over. Dragons 34. Misses the goal, but Broncos 14. Oh, they go over again. They're coming back. Missed the goal again. 34-18. That try there would have popped his shoulder in the tackle there. He was trying to tackle Cody Nicarima. So Widdop was sidelined for the next game we had. And that was it for the Broncos. Widdop went off, and the Dragons scored in the 69th minute with Luciano Leilua going over for a try. Where are we here? Cam McInnes from dummy half. Little kick he done. It was a beautiful little kick. Puts it through. Luciano first there. Dragons 40. Broncos 18. 74th minute. Dragons defend the goal. 42-18. Was it Lomax? Was okay. There you go.
It was already off by then.
And speed, beautiful speed. When I was younger, maybe, but not now. Dufty goes over. You couldn't catch him. Untouched. Dufty scores a try. Gareth Winnett, 7 for 7. But that was the end of his season. He was gone. Shoulder injury. And that cruelled him for a little while, didn't it? And then he came back and done it again. Was that the second time?
Season.
Yeah. Against the Broncos.
He did this 3 weeks ago against Para. Then they rushed him back for the game. I don't know if you can remember it.
Well, there you go. That's full time. Dragons 48. Broncos 18. Thank you for joining me for Behind Enemy Lines and a walk down memory lane.
You remember what happened next week in the final?
This has been a Big T presentation.
Who's that sleeping?
That's me mate Marty. He should be on. He should be on here somewhere. They're having a VOD party actually. There's about 8 of them all sitting around watching me talk shit. So it's been a Big T presentation brought to you by Essence and Light, Nature for Human Body. Go and check them out. www.essenceandlight.com.au. Go and have a look, mate. Your missus will love it. They'll love you for them. They're absolutely fantastic. And the Mad Dragon podcast, they help me do this. I love these guys. I love you all. The rest is history, but there's much, much more to be made. This week, we're not celebrating Donny. We've seen him on Sunday. We're celebrating little Billy. Look at little Billy.
Yeah, he was taught young.
Isn't he a beautiful little boy? Or is that your Dragons jersey there, Bill?
Yeah.
And how old were you, reckon?
Would have been about, maybe 2.
2. So you just woken up or just going to sleep?
I think I was crying.
But not like this one. Not like this one.
Not like Donny.
Not like Donny. No. And I've made you one. I'm going to send that to you.
Like you've only given him 1 tooth.
Pardon?
You look like he's only got 1 tooth.
Oh, I didn't make him look like that. He's got no teeth there. At least he's got one there. Anyway, thanks for joining me on a walk down memory lane. It's been great. I love yous all. Dragons for life. Baby.
All right. Thank you, Big T. As always, very good segment.